part of, let's take a quick stretch. And then we'll go over that, how it relates to the payroll setup.
Yeah, I know, but
All right, so let's start taking some notes. So first note is, the value coordinator. Then you've got payroll.
yeah, but just to finish, Jay, so that you don't misunderstand me. Okay, I got hurt, right? I got very hurt because people here just, I don't know. So when I wrote, the workers from the work, you should start by yourself. I care. So when I take on payrolls, I make sure that everybody gets paid and everybody confirms that they got paid and they got their money in the account or wherever the money was set. So I got very hurt about that. So I'm not going to be the one to prioritize my payment or to follow through on that. Absolutely, I don't want to even think about that anymore because I got so hurt that I want to move forward and I want to make sure that we set up the whole process correctly, with everything clear, responsibility training, organizing, all the payroll processes happening, and this is what
Do you think you were hurt?
For this.
All right, well, I definitely apologize. I'm really sorry for what happened, and I hope everything moves forward much better and smoother. Do you think you were hurt more or less than the decision makers?
It's difficult to say. I'm not the decision maker. I'm talking about myself. I got hurt very much because I was the one that pushed it to make it happen. I did the work, I did the calculations, and everything. And then I went on leave, and I didn't, and nobody. I mean, I got hurt in general that people don't care about people in general. That's what I got hurt.
Okay. Well,
nobody communicated nothing about the fact that the payroll happened.
Let's save it all for contentious, and let's get focused on the work, shall we?
Yes. I mean,
we could go on and on for hours about all of the problems, but let's what's the point? Right? Okay.
Yeah, my point was to make you understand it, not to misunderstand it. It's not that I don't care about finishing the process of before. It's just that I got hurt, and going back there just hurts me again, and I don't want to even think about it anymore. So, no, I'm not going to want to stepping up on finishing that because it was such a mess, so wrong in my opinion. So I'm not the one that's going to fix it now because I'm the victim, in my opinion, about what happened there. Let's get the people that made the mistakes.
Time to pause. Mistakes. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And definitely take responsibility for this to never happen again. So,
sure that, okay.
Yeah.
So we obviously have ongoing issues. So I want to make sure we have clarity on our value coordinator, our payroll coordinator, or administrator, or whatever you want to call them, admin. And then we have our payroll workers, right? And then we have all of our payroll priorities. I want all this to be clear, all this to be organized. This is what payroll setup is, right? So my understanding for the value coordinator is it's currently vacant, which is a problem. So we need to fix that. And then, that would be part of prioritize position review, ranking, and getting new value coordinator. Okay. So payroll admin, I don't know. We can try to get, Lucy and or Ate. They said they might be interested. I don't know. We'll just have to see. So let's make this, orange. So then we have Alberto, Lucy, Ate, and
Mamun.
Okay, so for me, that looks like our current status as far as the coordination and everything. So then we want to go to our payroll priorities. Obviously, we have the 155-degree west payroll round, right? We got, and really it's just it's not only payroll, it's payroll and distribution, right? And value distribution priorities. So we've got our 155 payroll round. We've got our finalizing the one-time payroll from before, right?
Yeah, we still need to finalize the running and the
decision makers.
the running of the payrolls, and which includes the follow through. So till we don't have confirmation that everybody got paid. By the way, we should do probably policy tracking. Now that I'm realizing that.
We did like 6 hours of policy tracking for that payroll, but if we need to do more, we can. Also, we have the new policy proposal that I'm doing, which will make it a lot clearer what policy is being broken, because currently you don't have a policy that says you have to follow through with your work. So having a policy that says you actually have to follow through with your work when you're assigned.
But we have a policy that says that you cannot start the next payroll round if you don't finish the one before.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause, inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
Maybe minor policy drafting, but
okay, we also have a policy that says that if you can't continue to work on something because you're waiting, you move forward, right? You can move forward.
which is not the case.
Okay, well, we'll address it. So then from there, we obviously have all of the past payrolls. Well, there's the budget update, and then we have the past payrolls. We'll just say past payrolls and keep it simple. Okay.
Yeah.
I think those are all of our payroll priorities at this time. I'll put ... because I'm sure there's other things. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be up.
We also want to continue. Actually, there's 2 more things. We want to continue to improve the automated single spreadsheet payroll model, and then we also want to one more thing. I think I might forget it. I don't know. I'll remember it later. So yeah, so we want to continue the new model. Very important. Okay, so are we ready? Oh, I remember. Update the responsibility training for our new model, and that's what we need to do next. Let's go into the responsibility training. So we have process and responsibility training. Okay. Any other priorities anyone could think of? And then let's also just add the task so that we have a completed list here. So we need to index and organize all this information somewhere, right? Where does it go? Right? In the organizing spreadsheet for payroll?
I linked it on top. I mean, priorities go here in the largest crucial process and coordination, but this is just changed now. It's called work organizing.
So let's make sure that everything gets indexed. And we can see if there's any other priorities that we're missing. And then we want to get into the process and responsibility training. Getting that organized.
Because we have the system.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Yeah, so this is the system, right? So then we have the processes. We have the payroll setup process.
I'm a little confused on what this spreadsheet is.
Where is the crucial payroll system? Maybe it's something. It's just a list of responsibilities.
Jay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Alberto?
What?
Yes, sure, Mamun.
Hello, Jay.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I just need 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So let's be sure
Thank
to add this particular session to our list of sessions, because this is a good
Yeah.
payroll session for our new
Sure.
training and everything. We'll probably be, using this recording for some of our training in the future.
Okay.
All right, so then we've got our payroll setup process. Okay.
Okay. I indexed it in the system.
System.
Mm. What are you looking at?
Sessions processes. List of processes and their value distribution. All right, here we go. So my understanding in relationship to our new payroll model is that the processes do not change. Processes are the same.
Right.
Also, let's go to the trouble and actually update this all to be responsibility training, right? Responsibility
Yeah. Okay.
training. Responsibility training. Responsibility training. Responsibility training. All right. I definitely like saying that we are going to organize the responsibility training. Although this is the process training, right? A process spreadsheet responsibility organizing. Yeah.
I mean, we had the whole payroll setup process, but
Time to take
it's
a
not
break.
applicable anymore.
Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
We're going back to we're going back to the, because you remember that we did that new evolution that then evolved even more, but to the new automated system. So with the new evolution, we were doing all the processes first that were due, remember? So there was only a big payroll setup process for all the setup of all the payrolls.
That's exactly what the setup
Yeah.
process is, really.
Ah, great. So we're still doing that. Okay.
Yes, that's what we're doing right now. That is what we're doing right now is we are in the setup of the setup process. Yes. So
Ah,
technically
great.
we're in
Cool.
the double setup. We're in step 0 of process 0. No, we're in responsibility 0 of process 0.
Which
And
is
that's
payroll setup
exactly what
process.
we're trying to do is get it organized, right? So we are in responsibility number 0 of process number 0. Okay?
Okay.
That's where we are now. That make
So
sense?
break.
Set
Yes.
0. Yeah, understood. Understood.
Yeah.
5 minute break.
Let's take a break. Yeah.
5 minute break.
Okay. Hmm? Saban siya. Saka tingin pala. রাইসের বিস্কুট দিয়ে খাওয়া টোস্ট বিস্কুট না সেই স্বাদ লাগবে ও করে নিল দিও না আমি কাজ করতেছি আমার সেশন হচ্ছে আমাকে একটু এক সমস্যা দিও ওইটা আমি ইয়েটা তো খাই তাহলে আমাকে এক কিছুর মধ্যে দেওয়া একটা আমি ইয়েটা খাইলে সেন্টিগারে
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
You there, Jay?
Yeah.
Do you like Cher?
What?
Do you like Cher, the singer?
Share?
Cher, yes. Cher.
I mean, I suppose I mean, I don't listen to her a lot or anything, but yeah.
Listening
Nothing
now to this song.
about Share.
I don't know. I mean, I listen
Maybe.
to this song. It's amazing. Believe. I don't know if you.
Nice.
I suggest you.
Sure.
Super good song. Yeah. Believe, Cher. All right. So let's get back to work here. Where were we?
Okay, so we're getting into the setup of the setup.
Okay, great. So we put everything into the notes.
Yeah. So the first things that are of concern, obviously, is like indexing and organizing the coordination information is a mess. I mean, this is just a lot, but we'll get to that. And then when you come into the value distribution payroll system spreadsheet, right, it has the 5 processes plus reimbursement, which is interesting. I don't know what this is here. Oh, these are the spreadsheet linkings for each half year. Interesting. We're not going to have to worry about that as much. But so anyways, you have to release the processes, and each one of these links to its own spreadsheet, which is the way that it should be, right? So the question is, what is this here? It seems to me like all of these are not needed in that we would be deleting these or copying and paste them to
What are you referring to?
all of these tabs.
Well, these tabs are just the list of the responsibilities.
Okay, so maybe it should say that. Maybe it should say responsibilities list. And then it should also link and be in yellow that, highlighted that you're on the wrong spreadsheet, right? So if you want to go to the setup process, you click on this spreadsheet, you don't go to this tab.
Yeah, we can also delete them, eh?
Yeah, you could just, we could make sure all the information is copied over and then we could delete them. Because we just want everything to be organized and clear on what you're supposed to do.
Copied over where in the process, in this process
Yeah.
spreadsheet.
So right now we're in the setup process. And again, this is not responsibility training. This is the setup, right? This is the setup process training.
Mm-hmm.
Not responsibility training, right?
Yeah.
So this is the setup process training. Then this would be the, you could also call it the payroll setup.
Here is the responsibility training.
Then you have the base equity. Actually, we're not doing base. We're just going to call it equity payroll process training spreadsheet. Right? And this also can say spreadsheet. And this would be the base upfront payroll process.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Then we have base token payroll process training spreadsheet. So should I do all of these, or does anyone get it and want to help out with this or not?
I was updating the name of the responsibility training organizer name.
What?
Responsibility training organizing, right? Organizing.
But it's not a responsibility training spreadsheet. It is the base token payroll process training spreadsheet. That's what it is. And then the responsibility trainings are linked inside of it, right? Like the actual spreadsheet is the process training spreadsheet, right?
I mean, if you link there, you go to the actual responsibility training organizing. The links
Yeah, but
in the notes.
in the tabs have the responsibility training in them. Yeah.
I mean, these tabs in the system spreadsheet, I would delete them all. I don't know. What do you want to do?
Well, let's just make sure there's nothing that needs to be saved, right?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the payroll process. Now we're focused on the payroll setup process, responsibility training organizing. I am here.
But again, what I'm trying to get here
And
is the
there's
vocabulary,
already
right?
setup. There's only the setup.
I want to get us communicating and using vocabulary that makes sense, right?
Yes. Okay.
If you go to the process training spreadsheet, you're not going to a responsibility organizing. You go to the process training and the organizing of the process training, right? It's not responsibility training. It's process training. And then inside that spreadsheet, you click on the tab for the responsibility that you want to work on. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
So I just think we want to be using the correct vocabulary that the
Let's
responsibilities are
go back to the
payroll,
notes.
money stops, timeline, and output, document organizing, review, and verification, as well as other things. So I'm just
So
trying to make it clear that the process training
Process.
involves all the responsibilities, whereas the responsibility training, there's a one tab for each responsibility training, right?
you're correct. The process training organizing.
Well, I like to
No,
use the term
payroll process training. Just keep it simple. Payroll
I like to
process
use the term that we are currently organizing the process training. That is what we're doing right now. We're organizing the process training. Does that make sense?
Okay. Makes sense.
Yes, but
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
right. So we have the
I'm just saying you
Just
can either say you can say
stick with
responsibility training, you can say responsibility training organizing, or you can say organizing the responsibility training. Either they're all the same thing. Okay.
yeah.
no.
Just
Let's
move on.
let's use something that is standard. Don't make confusion. We have the training organizing.
I
That
am
can be for a
leaning
process. That can be for a.
I am
It can
leaning
be for the
towards
responsibility.
process training and responsibility training. It's easy to say. Everyone understands that it's training now. It's helping so much, right?
But it's not. It's not. It's the organizing. It's not the training. Without the word organizing, it's I don't know. I mean, it's confusing because it's the training organizing. It's not the actual. It's the process training. Go. I don't know. I mean,
All right, fine. Let's just get everything standardized. So process training, organizing spreadsheet.
yes, process training organizing.
Spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet.
Process training,
Training organizing spreadsheet.
organizing spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet.
But I still think it's fine to say process training and responsibility training, but whatever. Organizing spreadsheet, we can say process training organizing, we can say process training, or we can say responsibly organizing or responsibly training organizing, whatever. Right? I'm not gonna be able to say
I think you're right. No, wait.
organizing every single time. There's just no way. I say responsibility training or organizing the responsibility training. That's what I like to say.
Wait.
Because I don't need to say that we're organizing.
Spreadsheet. I think the word spreadsheet is perfect. add the word spreadsheet, it's okay. Makes sense. Process training spreadsheet. I agree. Process
So
training
I should
spreadsheet.
delete organizing now?
Yes,
Okay.
because we're including the word spreadsheet.
I don't know, whatever. But the point is that sometimes I say process. Usually, what I say is that we're organizing the process training or organizing the responsibility training, and it feels weird to sometimes say that we're organizing the responsibility training organizing. It doesn't make sense to me, right?
It doesn't. And
But either way, I don't really care. We're still
I do.
evolving, you know. All right, so let's
Yeah,
get.
I do care.
So we want to delete all of these tabs. So let's just mark all these tabs to delete, and we'll go through them and make sure that there's nothing important on them. But we want to delete all these tabs, right?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close
And we
your
delete
eyes.
them while we go
Count
through
1, 2,
the
3,
process, right?
4,
It's focused
5.
on
Open
the
your
on the
eyes.
time.
What? I didn't hear.
Let's delete them while we go through the process. So let's leave
Well,
it.
yeah. So, but we would just delete one right now because we're not going through all of these.
Yeah, we can write to delete exactly. To delete the tools.
Well, this one can be
Please
deleted
move
because
forward, Jay. Alberto, please. I mean, move forward.
We are moving forward. Why are we not moving forward? To you, Mamun?
we're getting organized here. This is what
We
we're
are
doing.
working, Mamun. I don't know what you're doing, but we are working.
Okay, so I think we
Yeah.
are good. So then the last thing that's confusing here is line 17 down to line 40.
So now, Jay, 1 second.
Yeah.
So we can delete the payroll setup process tab. Are we agreed
Okay,
on
did
that?
you copy and paste all this over to the other spreadsheet?
You just copied it in the notes. Did you not?
No.
No. Okay, let me check that
Yeah, as long as all this information is copied into
training.
the spreadsheet, then we can delete it. Yep.
Okay, so let me check. Here, so it's the payroll setup process responsibility training spreadsheet. Spreadsheet. And I'm looking. Okay. No, we don't have. No, we don't. Don't. So, clicking another tab. Go to process. And now I am taking this information, copy into the process training, payroll setup process responsibility training spreadsheet, copy. All the information is there. So now I'm forward in deleting the tab.
All right, did you delete it? Or do you want me to delete it?
Delete.
Okay. So then I removed the list of past payrolls from the list of processes. So we have the list of processes, and then we have the list of past payrolls. So I added that in there. So I don't know exactly what we want to do with that, if we want to update that or where that comes into the process, but let's be sure to not ignore it, okay? But I want the list of processes to be clear, organized, simple. I'm not sure about these linking spreadsheets. That's going to change a little bit with the new model. So let's note that in our notes. So come down here. So we have a list of changes to make
I've
to.
never seen that. I don't even understand what this linking is. Spreadsheet linking. What is this?
Time
What?
to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
My stretch. This is new. This is new. I've never seen this.
Anyways, let's not worry about it for now, and we can address that later. Let's get into the setup, okay?
Setup.
Let's go. Into the notes or into the actual.
Going to the setup process training spreadsheet, which is the first process, or this process 0, right? So it's going to be the payroll setup process training spreadsheet. Okay. Right?
Yes. Are you in the spreadsheet or are you in the notes?
I'm in the spreadsheet. Payroll setup process training spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we could put 0, process number 0, I don't know, whatever. It's process 0.
Now this is responsibilities here.
No,
Now
this
we
is
are in the responsibility setup of the. Now we are in the. I'm lost.
Well, that's why we're organizing it, right? So they have the info tab, you have the process tab. So this is the list of responsibilities, right?
The process tab where we have the list of responsibilities and all the information about the process. Who's the value coordinator? Who is the admin of the process, and who is the workers, right? All this information is here, should be here.
So basically, you think that this tab is responsibility number 1 setup, or number 0? This is responsibility 0
Now
setup.
this tab never changes.
What tab?
The process tab, and the next tab is the first responsibility, the setup.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So let's go through the process. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I think
This
we're
I put
gonna.
in info. This linking here, I'm taking away and putting in info tab. Process here. This is the payroll setup process. List of responsibilities. List of responsibilities.
Time to pause. Please
So we're gonna
stop.
have
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
we have this information. Value coordinator and kind of this kind of graphs. So we have the value coordination is vacant payroll. This is the payroll setup process admin. Setup process admin. And then we have the payroll setup. Meaning, yes. Here.
I'm a little confused. What's going on?
Here we want to give this information, right? Who is the value coordinator? Who is the workers on the process, and who is the admin?
But do we need to update that like on every single spreadsheet, or what? I don't really quite understand.
Yeah, on every process training spreadsheet, you should immediately be able to have in the list of responsibilities tab where who is the
My
coordinator, who is the admin.
My understanding of process and responsibility training is that there should be nothing on the responsibility training document that needs to be updated in the responsibilities. That happens on the spreadsheet, on a different spreadsheet where you do all the updating. Because then you would actually have to put in the process that you need to update the process setup the process training, the payroll setup process training spreadsheet for the process tab with the value coordinator, any other place that you needed to update that, it would have to be written in the responsibility organizing.
Yeah, of course. The setup, when you go into the setup, it always says that, and this usually we do it in the process tab where we do like for example, take the base equity. Go into the base equity, right?
Okay, let's go into this. So
Process training.
Wait, you said equity payroll process training. You want to go in that?
Yeah, you see, this is wrong now. Now we need to change all of those. But
no, it doesn't have it anywhere. I don't see it anywhere.
if you go into the base equity responsibility training, training, process training, organized training, process training, training spreadsheet. And there is the process tab.
Time for breath. please
Here's where you
stop and get
update
ready.
who does the
Now
work and
inhale,
by when.
1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause, inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
Yeah, so I'm saying that overall, people can do that, but it's not correct. Right? The correct place to coordinate who is doing what by when from the payroll is the payroll organizing spreadsheet that lists all the priorities and everything, in terms of like coordinating and organizing the payroll, right? You want to coordinate and organize the payroll, know who's doing what by when, and then you tell people to go to the responsibly organizing to do the work, right? To do the responsibly training work that needs to be done. But if people are so disorganized that they don't have a coordinating spreadsheet, then I guess they're forced to do it directly on the responsibility organizing. But the responsibility organizing itself should never need to be updated. It should basically be perfect and have nothing that changes on it. We just go to it as a reference guide. I mean, eventually it'll be a website that nobody can update. You shouldn't even be able to update it unless you're like the webmaster or whatever, because the responsibility training is set, right?
Yes, and this is exactly what perfectly right, Jay. So let's do it because we did that because we are so disorganized. So yeah, you said it all.
Yeah. So anyways, it's perfectly fine to have it there. I'm just saying that it's
No,
not.
no, no, it's not. No, no, I just said it's not. Let's fix it.
Well, but it's everywhere. Or you see that everywhere. It's like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, so we're gonna fix it.
Well, no, we don't need to fix it. What we need to do is get focused on line. Okay, if you go to our notes, we have line 25. So line 25, we need to index and organize all the information of all priorities, who's doing what, by when. That all needs to be indexed into our organizing spreadsheet for the payroll, right? All of the information of who's doing what by when should not be in 20 different tabs and spreadsheets all over the place. It should be in a single organizing spreadsheet so everybody can see who's responsible for what when.
Exactly. So I'm creating in the file distribution per system work organizing,
Yeah.
spreadsheet, the tab for the setup process. And there I'm gonna now cut and paste the information about the value coordinator, the workers, and all that we just said. Yes. So it's not there anymore.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Now it's in the right spreadsheet.
Well, that's in line 25. That's what I just said to do, to organize that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I did it. So it's not in the process training spreadsheet anymore. As it should.
Great. And let me just mention really quick here, just to take a step back, right? Right now we have a pretty involved payroll system, right? We have the 5 separate processes with dozens of responsibilities, plus we've got the reimbursement. One of the goals of automating the calculations in this model will be that over time we could simplify the whole system. Eventually, we might not even need a payroll system. We might be able to downsize it to a single process with different responsibilities for various components of it. So right now, yeah, we have this massive process with many different massive system with many different processes. But as we get more and more automated, we can reduce the number of responsibilities and the amount of work. Okay. So we're just going to continue to get more and more organized.
I don't know. We'll see.
Exactly. We'll see.
Let's make sure that we already making huge improvements. And make sure that these improvements are implemented correctly. Then,
yes,
of course, we always improve. That's what we do. We always become better. All
right. So let's take a step back and do a little bit of brainstorm on some of the responsibilities and goals for the setup process. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do responsibilities and goals. So I'm in 965 of
yeah, I'm here in the notes.
Set up process. So process number 0. So one of the things that comes to mind is obviously the things that we just did, right? Is that, make sure the organizing of the payroll is clear, right? It's super duper important. Know who is responsible for what by when, also super duper important. We need to understand the deadlines, and the deadlines need to understand the list of payroll rounds that
First,
need
the
to
status. So important.
yeah, so
Status.
overall status for
Make
the
sure
payroll,
that
right?
everybody got. Make sure that the first thing, make sure that the last payroll
Make
round
sure
is
the previous
completed
payroll
with
round is
everybody got
Time
their
to take a
value.
break. Please
So,
stop, write down whatever you were
otherwise,
about to
audience
say,
talking
and take a break for 6 minutes.
to whoever didn't do. Put it
great.
like what we just did now, the status. What's the status?
Great. Yeah. So I think that is definitely all good, good, good. So let's go ahead and take a break. And just so you know, this is probably my last segment after this break. So the last break, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I'm back.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Jay, how do you do the sign of the responsibility? Fuck.
Well, it's like option 6 on my computer. Option 6.
Yeah, the computer because it's American. My computer says
And also for the I like to start using this one for the project. I know I usually use it for project, but I also want to use it for process. I think it's good for process too.
but they're too complicated symbols. Like for example, in my keyboard, it's not here. I
Well, you
don't
can
s-
always just go like responsibility or process or whatever like that.
uh, yeah,
And
I
sometimes I
guess.
do position like this too.
Let's make it simple that everybody can do it easily.
Yeah, I do this sometimes too. If I don't have access, I'll just do a parenthesis, R.
It's not nice. Find something that's
Anyways, we can go over that later. It's a separate topic. It will be our work organizing, all of our symbols for work organizing.
yes. So, but thank you for putting the symbol there so I can copy it.
Yeah. Okay, so these are our goals for our setup. So we want to make sure that our responsibilities match these goals. So let's check out the responsibilities again here. So the first thing is the deadline. So it says we want to have clarity on our deadlines. I think the first thing we want clarity on is who's responsible for what, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would actually change this to like coordination and assignment, coordination and admin, right?
So, Mamun, I have a
Mm-hmm.
question for you.
Yeah.
Have you been following the work we were
Yes.
doing? Okay, so should be able to answer very easily to this question. What responsibility are we currently organizing?
Goals.
What responsibility are we currently working on organizing?
What's responsibility number?
The name, yes, number, the full
Name
name.
and
Sorry.
number. Yes.
Yeah.
Process.
What number
Process.
is it? What number?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close
number
your
zero.
eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So what do we call number 0? It's not what you said so far. What is number 0?
What is the number of the responsibility? What is the name of the responsibility?
Yeah, what do we call number 0?
Process.
No.
Setup process.
Yes, setup.
No,
Setup.
no,
Setup.
it's not the name of the responsibility. The full name of the responsibility. Say if you come, like for example the other day you come to the session and you do your checking and you say I've been working on setup, right? I don't understand, right? So the full name of the responsibility is not setup.
Okay. Setup for payroll or goals of setup process. You see
I don't
there
know.
responsibility goals of setup process.
I mean, you would say it's the setup, it's the payroll setup process, right? So the
Jay
payroll
said it
setup,
Yeah,
like
exactly. Payroll
20
setup
times.
process.
No, it's the setup of the payroll setup process. This is the
Okay.
setup of the payroll
Yeah.
setup process. Yeah,
that Jay said it like 20 times. That's it.
setup of the
So,
payroll setup process.
so when you go to the next main session, and you're checking, so I'll be working on the setup of the payroll
Of
setup
the
process.
yeah, setup of the payroll setup process. Yeah.
Yes,
I mean
because you've been
setup
working on
with
it.
I mean a setup within payroll setup.
I don't know what I don't know what you say. There's so many setups. The point is this, Mamun.
I mean
When we work,
I said Alberto, I said this setup within the setup process.
no, to me it doesn't make sense, Mamun. I'm sorry, but I'm a bit stupid. You need to understand. I'm very stupid. Okay, so I don't understand what you're saying. If you don't say things that make sense, I don't understand them. So there's if you say setup within setup process, there's so many setups because every responsibility has its own setup. So it can be any setup. This is very clearly just is the responsibility setup
Setup
of
of the payroll setup. Yeah.
process.
Payroll process setup. Yeah, exactly.
Setup
I'm
of the
I,
payroll
I,
setup
I
process.
I'm saying I was about to saying that. Yeah. I understood this
Good.
the
So
diagram. Okay. No problem.
good. Good.
Can we move forward, please?
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
We
So I
are
think
moving forward.
you could say either setup for the payroll setup process, or you could say responsibility 0 of process 0 of the payroll system.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, both are correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So are you getting my point, Mamun?
100%.
100%. Okay. So repeat. What is my point?
Yeah, this is the we are working on a setup of the payroll setup process.
Yes. So when you say what you've been working on, you're gonna say what?
I'll be working on a setup of the payroll setup process.
Because you have been working on it for real.
What?
You understand
Mm-hmm.
my point? You understand my point now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If you work on something, you know very well what the name of the responsibility is. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you have been working on it. So if you work on something, you know what you've been working on. Otherwise, you've done something that I don't know what you've done. Correct? So you come to a session and you say that you've been working on payrolls, you've been working on nothing. If you come to the session, you say, I've been working on the setup of the payroll setup process. Ah, Cool. Thank you, Mamun. This is my
Okay.
point.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
other day I
Understood.
asked you, what have you been working on, and you couldn't answer. Now you can very specifically answer clearly. Oh, understand? I try to train you. If you don't care, I just don't waste my time. So,
No, no, no. Why are
yeah.
you saying that?
Don't
Why
take
are
it
you saying
personal.
that
I'm
always?
not because
No,
you're
no,
very
no, no.
intelligent. I want to make you. I want to bring out the best of you, right? I want you to be working and seriously here, and you have all you have everything to do it, and so I want to see you do it. So that's the point.
Okay, let's move forward. Thank you for making me understood. Thank you, Alberto. Check.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
My pleasure. Yes, let's keep going, Vijay. So Jay, I did something. I want your
Mhm.
confirmation that is okay. So I think that the process tab we just in the process training spreadsheet, the process tab is just redundant. Let's delete it as I
What's
just
the
did.
process tab?
Exactly. You see, you don't even know what it is.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, no, 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 don't delete it. Please don't delete it. What are we talking about? What's wrong with the process tab?
Where in the process training spreadsheet there was a tab that's called process where there's the resources for it. It doesn't make sense.
No, I think it's
Let's
fine.
put it in the info. No, let's put it there in the info on top, like I did now with the links.
So the process list. Okay, we can change it from process to process list of responsibilities, right? List of
So
responsibilities.
you want to have two tabs? I think it's good to have it in just the info tab.
No, the info tab does not list the responsibilities. The info tab is everything that has nothing to do with the process. It links to all of the bigger picture things like the system and everything that's not applicable to this specific process. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Jay. Yes.
Yeah,
So
the
how do we
info
want to
tab,
call the tab? How do you want
I
to
don't
call the
know, we
tab?
could just say call it the list of responsibilities for the
List of
process.
yes, perfect. List of res. It's too long though. List.
Or just call it the process tab. I'm fine just leaving it as
Yeah,
process.
process. Okay, process.
The
Process. Very
process
good.
is the list of responsibilities. That's what a process is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I did that
Wait, why did you delete all of the responsibilities?
because it's the info tab. We just said that we don't want to have that.
Yes.
I'm putting back like it was before.
Cool. Yeah, the info tab should basically list the link to
This
the
is a very good information. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
what? What's good
Yeah.
information?
That's it. You opened a word to me now. Yeah.
What word?
No, you know why I didn't know? Because I never did the training.
What training?
Exactly. I never did the training. I just found out after 2 years that the info tab has everything to do, has all the links that has nothing to do with the process. So,
Yeah, but the
yeah.
info tab is everything above the process, right? To link outside
Time
of
to
the process.
stretch. Please stop. Stand up and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
That's
You
why
open
whenever
like
you go to an info tab, it always has a bunch of links that link to other places and other information that don't give you information about what you're actually looking for.
not really, because I've been messing around with the info tabs without having this understanding. So, not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you go,
No, I mean now it's clear. I mean, I'm so glad finally that this information is just amazing.
yeah, it's like the info tab is like the top of any of a document, right? Because before we used to have the tops of documents, we have a line, and at the top of the document, we have the links to everything above and outside of that document.
That's unbelievable.
And so now we have a
Now I
spreadsheet.
get it.
The info tab represents the top of the spreadsheet.
Okay,
Okay, so anyways, let's go back to our notes. Can we go back to our notes for a bit?
I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we are making some progress. So if we review our goals for the responsibilities and goals for process number 0, make sure, so I have 5 responsibilities. We want to make sure that organizing the payroll is clear. I think that's pretty good. Know who's responsible by 1, check. Understanding the deadlines, check. Understanding the list of payroll rounds that need to be completed. Check, that would be number 4, organizing document links. Wait, update the links in the spreadsheet coordinates to link all payrolls together, ensure the mailers have access to. No, it's a little bit different. So let's make sure this is a
These are the
organized
descriptions for each responsibility.
list of payroll.
We're just in the setup.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I know this is the responsibilities for the setup. So check overall status payroll system, check. Make sure the previous payroll round was completed and that everyone got their value. So that is not check. So do we want that to be the previous payroll round and the status? Did that come as number 6 after the status update, or is it number 5 before the status update, or is it number 1? We do that before everything else.
I shouldn't be a responsibility.
It's not a responsibility.
No.
Maybe it's part of the setup.
Yes.
Organize everything we need.
I think you're making confusion here. These are the responsibility of the whole setup process.
Yes, this is the list of responsibilities for the setup process, the setup process. Yes, absolutely.
And now we're doing the goals for the setup responsibility only.
No.
The goals for the whole process. Okay.
The whole process. I want the whole process to be organized.
Time to pause. Please stop.
Good.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
The goals
so
of the whole
this
process.
is what we want accomplished after the end of the process. So this is the list of all of our goals for the whole process. Process goals.
This is just a goal for the setup responsibility.
Yeah, so the setup responsibility itself, we would say organize everything you need to achieve setting up our payroll for success and make sure we follow through on previous payroll round. Okay.
Perfect. Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
So take away from here.
No. Leave it there. That's part of our goals. It's just in number 0. That's where that goal is taken care of.
Good.
So then we have our list of process goals and our list of process responsibilities. And we want to now copy and index this into our process. So I think now we can delete this. This is the old stuff. Note setup for multiple payrolls.
Missing.
What's missing?
There is something missing.
What?
We want to make sure that all the policies are correct and updated. Super important. I
put that under deadlines. Verify current deadlines and processes regarding payroll policies. So within the deadlines and the payroll pay stops, we could review and understand the policies, but I feel like we don't want to get. But it should be a goal of the process itself. But the goal of payroll is to get everybody paid. The goal of payroll is not to. I'm not talking about the goal of payroll. I'm talking about the goal of the setup of the payroll process. Before you start doing. But we only need to know the policies applicable to the payroll process, nothing else. Because remember, there's a lot more policies related to payroll than there are related to running payroll. Do you see the difference? I'm confused. What do you mean by running payroll? Okay. So we have the policies related to payroll. We're talking about the goals. These are the workers that work on and make sure all other workers get paid. So that is a very small subset of policies. When we set up the payroll, we are talking about the goals of the setup process, payroll setup process, correct? The payroll of the setup payroll process. The goal number 1 should be that you make sure that the policies for the whole payrolls are updated and current
Time for breath. Please
There.
stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
But for
Talking
me,
about
that
the goals of the whole setup process, not the goals
yes,
of
but
the
but listen for a second. Just like
yes.
for me, all payroll policies is a separate responsibility because, like let's just think about another process like the budget, right? To do the budget, we don't need to review all budget policies. We only have to review the policies related to actually completing the budget and passing it with the HR board. That's it, right? So all payroll policies goes way beyond the policies that the payroll workers actually need to make sure the payroll is completed. Right. So I think the only policies that are applicable in this situation is the policies related to payroll workers and the workers that work on the payroll to make sure that everyone else gets paid on time. Right. And then you have all payroll policies, which is much broader. And then you have all HR policies. Right.
Okay, I'm just talking about the. You're right. You're right. Yes.
We don't review
Wait.
all policies hardly ever. Typically within every
You're
single
right.
responsibility, you review only the policies related to that individual responsibility and no other policies, because usually there's only one or two policies that are applicable to any one
Yes,
responsibility.
but the payrolls is the only is one of the few one that has the setup process, right? So
Every system has a setup process. Every single time there's a system, you end up with the number one. The number 0 process is the setup of the system itself. That is always the case for every system. Every system has a process number 0 for setup for the system, for system setup. So for example, recruitment. The recruitment system, the process number 0 is the setup of the recruitment round, right? Of the recruitment system.
we review the policies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the policies. So there should be the setup process. One of the goals is to review and update the policies applicable to the payrolls processes. Right?
But see, I just don't necessarily agree. I feel like that is too much. That's just overwhelming and could just be an
Time to pause. Please stop.
Not too
Close
much.
your eyes.
Do
Count
something.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Not
Like
too
for me,
much.
that's a separate responsibility. That is an evaluation responsibility where we review and evaluate all payroll policies. That is a responsibility under the eval team to review and evaluate all payroll policies. Right? That is
What
a
I'm saying.
separate responsibility.
What I'm saying is this. So what I'm saying is
I just want to get focused on the payroll. Sitting here, we could literally talk about for 30 hours all of the policies under payroll. It does not help us get payroll run.
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm hearing
I'm talking about the goal of the setup process.
I know, but I'm hearing you say that you want to review all payroll
I
policies.
don't want to do it. It should be a goal of the. How we do it? We're listing the goals of.
Yeah, I'm saying
What are the goals?
that is not the goal of the setup of the
Setup
payroll
process.
system. Reviewing all of our payroll policies, I don't think is going to
I'm
help
not
us.
talking about the setup of. Not talking about the responsibility. I'm talking about the goals of the process. Are we do the?
I am talking. That's what I'm talking about. The goals of the process. Yes, we're talking about the list of process goals. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we are setting up the process of the payroll processes, right? We're setting up the I mean, am I not correct or I'm wrong?
I'm just saying that within each individual responsibility, we should address the policies applicable to that responsibility. I do not think that we need a separate place to review all policies for every single responsibility for the entire payroll system. Like, I just don't see why we would do that. That's an evaluation. That's an evaluation responsibility. Organize all of the payroll policies and review them. That is what evaluation team is supposed to do.
Okay, so
responsibility.
Within the setup of each responsibility, I mean, the setup of each responsibility is just a step.
It's not even a step. It's just like when you organize. Have you done the responsibility organizing training, the responsibility training, right? When you create a responsibility training, it always lists the policies related to that responsibility. This is part of responsibility training and organizing your responsibility training, is you always list all of the policies related to that responsibility.
Always. Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
Yeah, the problem is that we don't have it in the step. We should include it in the step. That's first. Yeah. The setup step of the responsibility should be written. Ensure that the responsibility.
We're talking about the list of process goals, right? And the responsibilities for the setup process.
Yes, I'm just saying that what you say makes sense. The problem is it doesn't exist. It makes sense, it doesn't exist.
What doesn't exist?
So go in any responsibility of payroll and step 0, setup of the responsibility. It doesn't say to review the policies.
But that's what I'm saying, is that you don't review the policies within any, there's no step or individual like responsibility that is reviewing the responsibilities. That is just the part of the responsibility training. The responsibility training always lists the responsibilities, the policies applicable. So you have
I know that.
And you can review them as needed.
In the setup, you should make sure that those are reviewed and updated. That's what I'm saying.
But it's not just a setup. Every single responsibility, you review and update the policies for that responsibility always. Otherwise, you're not doing the responsibility training correctly.
Yes, exactly. It should be the step of the responsibility.
No, it's not a step of the responsibility. It is the responsibility.
In the step setup.
Sure, the setup, you can look at the policies that are applicable for that responsibility. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it never said that anywhere.
It's a step of the setup responsibility of each process, usually. Yes.
No, okay. It's part of the setup step of every responsibility, is to know your responsibility and review it, including all of the information in your responsibility training and your freaking policies.
It's a bit confusing. So you should make sure that this is clear. There should be only one place where you do that.
No, you do it in every single responsibility. You review the policies regarding that responsibility.
I agree.
We do not need to review all the responsibilities for all of payroll. I don't see how that gets.
I agree. I agree. So I want to make sure that each responsibility has a step that says review the policies for this responsibility, that they're updated. I'm not sure we have it for each responsibility. We should have it.
But it's not a step. It's just part of it's step 0. It's part of step 0 to make sure you have all the information you need to accomplish the responsibility correctly. That is literally the definition of step 0 in every single responsibility, which includes knowing the name of the responsibility, knowing the list of steps, knowing the policies regarding that responsibility.
I know.
Knowing
but
all
since I use responsibility training a lot, I know for sure that many there's more steps set up. They don't have this task than there is that they have. So I'm going to make sure that today. I'm going to update every time that I'm working. Every setup step of each responsibility will have very clearly. Be sure that you review and update the policies on that responsibility.
I don't necessarily think anyone should be updating policies without verification from executives or administrators or something, you know? Like, so you're supposed to review or list or make sure you know that if you want to ask questions, you ask questions, but they should not just be changing the policies and updating them however they want to, okay?
So it should be another step after the setup.
No, it's not a step. But I don't understand why you're trying to make a step about policies. Policies are not something that you focus on ever. You focus on a policy in
When
a
you
meeting
pass the policy,
to
yes.
discuss
Okay, I
it
get it.
and get agreement on the policy. Once the policy is set, you follow the policy. You don't work on the policy. Nobody is working on policies when they're trying to get work done for the actual payroll. It doesn't make any sense. There is no
Yes.
step anywhere in the entire payroll system that says stop all work on everything and just start reviewing policies. That is not work. That's discussions and
I
decision
never
making.
said about reviews, about updating. Make sure that they're updated.
What does that
Because
mean?
At the beginning,
Policy?
at the beginning of each responsibility training,
That's just the responsibility training
there is
itself.
the
That's
list of the
organizing
policies.
responsibility training.
Yes.
The organization of the responsibility training is not a step of the responsibility training. Do you understand? Do we need to step it back? If we need to step back and go
Now
through,
I do. Now I do. Yes, yes, yes. Because when we pass the policy, we make sure that the policy is
always
updated
listed.
inside. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I
that
get
is a step of the responsibility training setup. Like when you're organizing your responsibility training, there's a whole bunch of steps you go through for every single responsibility training. Like the responsibility training itself is a responsibility, and it goes through every single step of how you set up the responsibility training correctly, which includes making sure you're listing and updating correctly all the policies and how to find the policies or whatever needs to be done for the policies. Like that is one step of the responsibility training, but that is not a step of the responsibility itself. Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay. So for me, the only thing that's applicable is the policies regarding the deadlines and the pay stops for achieving the payroll and getting the payroll done on time.
Yeah. Perfect. Great.
So I'm counting 5 responsibilities plus the setup.
So these are the goals of each responsibility, right?
No, this is just kind of a description.
The description.
Yeah, this is just a description of the responsibility.
Good.
All right.
So do we need to create individual tab
Yes.
for every responsibility?
To create what?
Individual tab.
We missed the break because my sometimes it just stops looping.
Session.
Well, it's fine to miss that break because I have to get going. I can't.
Yeah.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Yeah.
All right. So we didn't make a lot of progress here, but we got the clarity on the goals for the process. We have clarity on the process responsibilities. And now we just need to go through these process responsibilities. Like this is not difficult. Like, so the setup, this would be the setup steps. So if we want to go through the steps of setup, we can. See, this still needs to be, oh wait, review and document. Huh. Maybe we should add another step for, I think there was also a step for review and verification. I like the review and verification. Don't you think that's good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So these
Last
are the
one.
responsibility of the process, correct? That you just copied and pasted.
I added review and verification, so check in with
What
executive
coordination admin? What is it?
leadership before.
Now you copied and pasted something different.
What? Where are
What you
you?
copy?
Where are you, Alberto?
You copied the responsibilities. This is the old one, right? So this is the updated list, correct?
Yeah, looks the same. So
Yes.
I just changed it to draft status update and then review verification and send update, right?
All right. So this goes into the. Okay, you sent it. Okay, you put it there already.
Yeah.
But what is this? Inside the setup tab of the responsibility, what is these responsibilities?
You mean
It's the
number 0
steps.
setup? Yeah, so this all needs to be deleted.
This is the steps, right?
Well, now we need to go over
I
the
know.
goals of the setup, responsibility of the setup process, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the goals.
So what would be the goal of this? Like we can start with what we talked about before, which is we want to organize everything we need to achieve the payroll for success, right? We want successful payroll. What else do you want to do? Make sure that it's clear who is assigned as admin to the process. Not applicable. That would go into another one. Ensure that the cycle payroll system is documented, easy to find information. No. Remind people not to just stop the assumption. No, I don't know what that is. Make sure this is coordinated with executives, right? So this is all stuff that's related to the
Time
overall
to
process.
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So I would start this everything from scratch. So we have organized everything you need to achieve setting up our payroll for success, right?
This,
Boom.
this is the description. Yes. The goals go here. So the description first.
No, we don't. I don't think we really need a description.
Usually there's always a description.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we have the goals. And then we have the policies. Or the links first. I mean, maybe the important links and then the policies. And
So
maybe
I
the
mean, I
policy.
can't think of any policies that are applicable to the setup of the setup process. I'm sure there's some policy we could think of. Anyways, let's go through our goals. So we're on responsibility 0. What do we need to do?
This is a mess. So I'm going to just delete this.
What are you deleting?
These redundancies here.
What redundancies?
To make sure the process, this is you, the goals here, get everything. We need to make sure the process is successful. So I bring this up
Okay.
to the
Yeah.
goals. And this I can delete, right? Yes.
Yes, and then here's all the list of what we need for this process, right? This is all stuff we did from before, so this is good. And then this can all be moved to, here, let's get all the tabs set up so we can organize this properly. So we have the coordination, number 1, coordination and admin. Number 2 is going to be deadlines. Number 2, deadlines and what was it?
Deadlines.
And then we have timeline. So we have assignments. Let's call it assignments. Assignments, number 3.
Assignments, yeah. Number 4.
Timeline is too close. So let's do assignments and timeline.
Number 4 is what?
Number 4 is organized list of payrolls in document links. So let's just say documentation, right? Number 4 is documentation, and then 5 is draft status update, right? So that'll be status update.
Sorry, Jay. I'm lining the rhythm. Okay. Assignments, setup. So number 4 is documentation. Okay.
Now 4 documentation, 5 status,
5 status.
and 6 is verification.
Verification. Okay. 6 is verification. Great. Cool.
All right, so now I'm going to go back into the setup and I can delete some of the stuff. So this first section here is
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Assignments. This third section is document organizing. So this goes over here into documentations. And then we've got review and verification. Cool. Awesome. All right. So verification could be incorporated into the status update, you know, where it's like, don't send the status update until there's been verification, but I don't know, whatever. Well, we can decide whether we want a 6th responsibility or not, because just a responsibility just for verification is not particularly impressive. So anyways, back to the setup. So here's a list of what we want for the process, the links to the payroll system organizing spreadsheet, links to the money pay stops, and vote tallies. So I don't know exactly how important some of that is, but
I mean, we are getting rid of that, right?
some of it we might get rid of. Yes, exactly. So
We're setting up the ideally we're going to be setting up the new policies with the new deadlines.
So I feel like
the be irrelevant.
goal of the setup process is just a quick overview of the entire payroll system and knowing what is going on, right? I think that's just helpful because like the setup of the setup process would be where you would want where you want to really understand the entire system, right? So this could include for new people. This may include a payroll system training, right? Payroll system training. Overall, you know what I mean?
Payroll system training is the big one.
Like this would be the perfect time. If you're brand new to the payroll system, this would be the perfect time to get an overview of the payroll system, understand how it all fits together, what's going on, before you dive into like just all the details of coordination or deadlines or all this other stuff, right?
Right.
So either way, I think the primary goal here is just kind of like an overall view and perspective here. Understanding, right? How does the system connect together, right? And
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right.
So let's think about this, right? So
I think the most
so
important.
we have the core. No, I mean, you think about this because. So think about this.
Can I say something?
Yes, I'm thinking. Yes.
So I was just kind of say that I feel like, you know, that the most important thing here is just, you know, making sure that the overall system in this process for getting the system organized is ready, that everything is ready to move forward. And I think that's pretty much it. Like, we covered a lot of this stuff already, so there's not too much to
The
do here,
point.
not a lot of steps, right? So we can go into some of the steps here, but we don't
So
have a lot of things.
I think we should get rid of this responsibility.
Why?
Or I don't. But no, not get rid, but it's difficult to understand what we want to do in this responsibility because this process is the setup. So each responsibility is about setup. So what the setup of the setup?
Well, I mean, think about what we just did. We just made sure that the process was set up correctly, that we had all the correct responsibilities, that we know where all the links are. That is the setup of the setup process. You see what I'm saying? We just made sure everything fits together so that everything's set up for success. We literally just did the most of the essence of the setup for the setup. We just literally did that. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you should make
Yeah.
sure that the system spreadsheet is updated. This is correct. It's updated with all the links. And the what we just did. Yeah, let's think about what we just did. That should be the goals that we should put here. So we made sure that the system spreadsheet was updated. We made sure that the vocabulary was correct. Very important. It should be the goal of the setup.
And remember the step 0 of the setup of the setup of the setup.
Time to pause.
Triple setup.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Right? So this is where you do step 0 would be step 0 is the setup of responsibility 0, which is the setup of process 0, which is the setup of the payroll system. So we're going to be doing step 0.
I'm still on the goals. I'm still on the goals. Then we
Yeah.
see. So the goals is for the whole responsibility is to make sure the vocabulary is correct. Then it's going to be a step, right? I mean, the step 0 is going to be the links, correct?
Right.
So you have the links.
Are you going to be ready at 9?
So this is like step 0. This is the link. Right?
Okay.
So this is,
Okay, I'm going to take off probably like 5 minutes.
This is step 0.
Okay. Okay.
This is step
Break.
0.
Jay,
Setup.
are you going to break?
No, I need to just get going here in like a minute. So
Yeah. So
Okay.
you have step 0.
Okay, me and Alberto continue.
List of what you will need for this process. Yes. So this is the goal. These are goals.
Mhm.
We have the setup, step 0. So setup is all the links. Then I'm gonna do it better. So, but the goals of
I
this
would say that
process.
could be step 1 could be the making sure the links to the system are all correct, that the links and the responsibility, everything is correct, which is what we did, right?
Correct. Step 1 could be links in index. Links. Yeah.
So from there you want
Indexing link.
you want to have a clear
Index
goal,
of links. Step
organize
1.
information, and make sure the setup process is organized and for success. Right?
Yeah.
So that would be step 1 and 2. Step 3 could be like
You're in the notes, huh? I was in the
Yeah.
spreadsheet.
see what else needs to be done. Let me look at the goals again. So
Update all the vocabulary. So this should happen here. So you should make sure now
what vocabulary?
responsibility.
What vocabulary?
Time
maybe it's
for
just a
breath.
one-time thing.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
So, for example, it's very important something. No.
I mean, I would just say that you know, I think we might skip this step for now, but we would make sure there is clear training for the overall payroll system, and this would include vocabulary for workers, etc. I think this is where you kind of you know, I think there's something about, like, when you're talking about vocabulary, that's just basic vocabulary for training for the entire payroll system, for making sure people know what they're talking about, will help the entire system go more smoothly for all the processes, right? So we don't, I don't know if we have that, but that's something that I think would be really good to make sure that we have, is just like a simple link to like an overview of the payroll system, the vocabulary we use, what the outcomes are. I mean, it could be a simple 5-minute video that would really help a lot of payroll workers, you know? And maybe it could go over some of the most important policies, like payroll workers are not allowed to pay themselves until every other worker has gotten paid, right?
Yeah, I mean that's part of the training, the training organizing. Just that you want to have a person. This is something that wouldn't happen every time, right? So
Well, every single responsibility should have a training video, and so that might be the training video for this particular responsibility. Is like the introduction to the overall payroll system, right? In the
sure.
setup. So, but either way, I don't know. If you want to add vocabulary and make that the part of the system, it's fine.
No, I mean not really. It's not something that.
Anyways, I need to go. I think overall we're pretty much done with the setup, and we're ready to go on to number 2. You know. Because I think overall, like, we don't need to get hung up on the setup of the setup. The setup of the setup is something that happens over time. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Number one.
All right. So yeah. So I would say getting into number 1, coordination admin, that is the most important thing for now. I think we're looking good. But I need to get going.
I mean, the most important thing that we did is the priorities.
For the setup. Review the priorities of the setup. Yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. Add that. Review the priorities or review the goals of the entire process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes.
goals.
Count 1, 2, 3,
Here
4,
goes.
5. Open your eyes.
Instead of vocabulary, I would say the priorities.
Also, we said within the setup, we need to have a step that's involved in understanding where the current status is on the previous payroll round and continuing that. And so the setup might just lead you back to the previous payroll round, right? So make sure that's added in there, okay?
And so you have the clear goals, and instead of the vocabulary,
Are you going to add that or not? Should I add it?
I'm thinking about where to add it.
View status for previous payroll round and even go back and complete it if it is.
So step 4, it should be the last one. It's
So
difficult to do the setup of the setup.
Yeah, setup of the setup is definitely
It's definitely
higher level. Higher level for sure. Okay, so I gotta get going. I will talk to y'all later. But overall, it's like high level stuff. You know, setup of the setup is very high level.
Let's
And
take 2 minutes to just do the tracking, Jay.
Oh, that's also another good thing, is make sure we update the list of priorities and list of issues, right? Update list of priorities and issues, because this is where you address the broadest issues and priorities of the payroll, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's do a quick tracking day of the hours. So, how many hours? 2 hours?
We did 1 hour. Oh, you did 1 hour. Me and Mamun did an hour and a half, right?
I did an hour and a half.
And this would just be payroll coordination and, well, actually we got started. Oh, we don't actually have payroll set up. We need to add that. I'm just gonna do payroll coordination for me.
Okay, what is the line?
It's line 41.
Yeah, so 1 hour and a half for me and 1 hour, 2 hours for you guys.
No, I think I did an hour and a half. I don't think I've been here
We
longer.
No,
started
I
call, but
checked in. I started at
sorry,
8
guys,
a.m. 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours.
2 hours and a half you did, guys. Or 2 hours and a half.
Okay, well, I didn't
2 hours and a half.
I mean, I mean,
mix two and a half
uh,
hours.
we
But I
checked
don't
in,
know.
but Alberto was late.
I'll do 2 hours. Okay. All right. I'll see.
I
I'll
do
talk.
1 hour and a half.